Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Otafest podcast. It's me, I'm Nancy, and I'm here with Jay and Angelo.
Hello.
It is we, the Jay and the Angelo.
Indeed.
And it's a Nancy.
Have news for you. So many news. Oh my gosh. A multitude of news, in fact. Coming to Otafest 2023. Neat is a Filipino-Canadian music producer and live performance DJ known for his emotive albums and electric live performances that range from gentle piano ballads to synth-heavy sample-driven indie-tronica bangers. His love for future bass and hip-hop is infused into his distinctive sample-based style that has led him to collaborate and produce music for clients such as Domix, Rogue Origin Films, and Riot Games. And since 2012, Neat has evolved as an artist, and his talent has taken him from Calgary to the United States and Japan, and we are so excited to have him.
Get ready for some seriously fierce drag at Otafest. Our lineup includes mixed gender, armed with body glitter and sharp looks. Retro diva Valerie Hunt for an over-the-top psychedelic performance. The dancing diva of Calgary, Dana Hart, ready to shake things up. And Doggy Chow, serving up some horror, camp, and B-movie glamour. The Otafest Gunpla Hangar is once again hosting a showcase competition with multiple prize categories for you to show off your build skills and creativity. Display your giant robot model kits, connect with fellow Gunpla fans, and win special prizes like the People's Choice Award, the Does It Pay Rent Award, and many others. We've also got a youth category. Register your entry online at otafest.com/gunpla.
And in case you forgot you were on the Otafest podcast, celebrate Calgary's proudly non-profit anime festival's 25th anniversary with 9,000 fellow fans. Weekend and Saturday passes are expected to sell out, so get yours today to avoid disappointment. Please check out otafest.com/ticket-update for details and explanations for this year's updated ticket policies.
Wonderful. Ooh.
So much news!
We're so close.
I'm so excited.
It must mean that there's a convention around the corner. I don't know which one.
We're 1 month away.
We're a month away.
We are less than a
weeks.
month. We're 29 or 28 days.
So cosplayers, if you haven't started yet, you are going to be having
You'll be starting next week.
Sleepless nights.
So is
planning.
Is it
they started
strange?
planning next week. They're like, "Oh, I'm finally decided on the character I'm going to cosplay."
Yes, you'll make a decision next week.
Yeah.
Finally. But we're looking forward to seeing all of that. It's interesting to me because I feel like the hype for Otafest starts for me when I start seeing other people going to earlier conventions.
Yes, once the con season starts rolling up, once you start seeing like your friends going to some of the conventions in the southern states where it's already nice and warm, it's like, oh my god, conventions, they're happening. Otafest is soon.
Yeah. You can also visit us at some of those conventions. Like Calgary Expo is coming up. It'll be the weekend right after this episode, and we'll have a table. So please come see us. I did forget to put them in, but I believe like normal, we should be able to take in purchases without service fees. So you save a little bit of money on those, and we'll have merch there, and we'll be our normal, wonderful selves there. So come say hi.
Come say hi.
Yeah. I have no idea where we are in the building.
I mean, it's one building. How hard can it be to find someone?
Have you been to that location before?
I am going to say I'm looking forward to that expansion. I mean, I think everybody's looking forward to the expansion, but like it looks really nice. And like, with all due respect to convention spaces in Calgary, including our own, like we don't the thing that's coming in, and this is not like con related, it's just the venue. is like it's really nice to see like a very premier top level looking kind of presentation space. It will invite a lot more like business, and like it does provide like an economic boost. People will want to host their presentations there and go there to, you know, see whoever's coming in and whatnot. Like I remember back when I used to work in live events, Barack Obama came in to speak. He was at the Calgary Saddle Dome. It was kind of sad. Not gonna lie.
Aw,
The venue is just like, you know,
mid.
yes, you know.
I see.
I'm out of the loop. So is CCEE changing venues then?
I have no idea. None of us
I
work for
don't know.
CCE. You're asking the wrong people.
But I mean, that said, I know we talked last year about just how different the BMO looked on the outside. Like it looks so different from what I remember in the skyline when I looked up in my like 5-year-old self. It's so different. It has a completely different feel to it. I don't know if it's a good thing, but probably almost anything will look better than the old like concrete centric look that
Well,
it
you're
had
talking
before.
about, so the BMO Center is
Oh, I
the
understand.
BMO Center, just to be clear, is
Mhm.
not the corral, which was what got knocked down. And the corral used to be an old like sportsplex. So it used to host rodeo and
The
things
dog
like I
show.
think monster truck shows and some like motocross and the old Calgary hockey team used to also play out of there. But it was also like,
Mhm.
with all due respect to the history, it was a dump. That stuff got all knocked down. The plus 15 that used to go from essentially the train station all the way over to the Saddle Dome is gone.
Mhm.
Which is like the plus 15 is always kind of a nice thing, but honestly, that was pretty dated. And it was also like an outside plus 15. It was literally just to facilitate people going back and forth, not to like be warm and sheltered, like most plus 15s actually are in Calgary. For anyone who doesn't know what a plus 15 is, because I actually do know that this is a thing, it's actually just a skywalk kind of. It's called a plus 15 because it's 15 feet above ground. But yeah, you're right, though. The old corral looked and basically felt very grungy and old and outdated. And while you could host events in there, it's much nicer that we don't, honestly. The new exhibition hall or whatever I don't know what the actual technical term for their marketing is for that venue, that expansion is, but it looks pristine.
Yeah, I haven't been down there since.
Interesting. I haven't been down there since
wow.
Beer Fest last year. Normally I don't really go to CCEE, but I am going to Beer Fest this year. Hell yeah.
I'll be at CCE this year because I'll be hosting panels. But yeah, even last year, like
Nice.
the refaced stuff that they did on the outside looked very different, and yeah, there was the knocking down that was happening, and it's a lot of change in the area, and I'm kind of excited to see what it looks like now.
I hope so too. I hope that it
Yeah,
looks all
honestly,
nice.
it's a boost to Calgary in general, so it'll be nice. It'll be cool.
Man, other
Mhm.
things that got absolutely boosted. So, I watched Morbius,
You watched
and
it.
I had a fantastic
You watched
time.
it
I don't
alone.
know what all these critics were talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it alone at all. I know that for a fact, Jay was there
Just because I was there doesn't mean I watched it.
and Dio was there.
Even though we were
Okay,
at my
fair.
house planning to watch it. You can't prove a thing. You don't know that I
Can't prove a
did it.
thing.
For the last couple years, Jay, Dio, and I have had a little bit of a tradition going on. It started with one, it's the third one now, but it's already a tradition, I tell you what. Every 420, we will enjoy 420 the way it's meant to be enjoyed, by watching horrible movies and seeing how much better
But
the
do you get to
experience
watch
can
it
get.
once, like before or after, when not experiencing?
Why?
Good fucking God, no. Why would we do that to ourselves?
Well, then how do you have a comparison of how much better it is or not?
You don't need a comparison. Sometimes you just need to know that things
My-
are good as they are,
Oh, okay.
right? Like,
We were enjoying the marijuanas, which are legal, have been legal in Canada for about, 5 years now?
I think since 2018, yeah.
And I made some wonderful edibles. This is part of the tradition. After waiting for them to really kick in, we put on Morbius. And all that I really remember about it is that it's just constant Jared Leto faces.
It's true.
And a lot of like homosexual tension.
And the problem
between him
with
and Dr.
the
Who.
homosexual tension is that it's not really tension, it's just lines. Line after line after line where they're together in a scene, and it's just like badly written fanfic lines that imply tension.
There are specific memes. No, I can't actually say.
You can't
You
actually
keep on,
say,
you keep
okay.
on going. I'm looking up his stupid lines in the script.
Oh, good.
Because they just sound so dumb.
There are very
I'm not ready for this.
There are very corny introductions to some gay media that this felt at certain points.
And it doesn't
even
help that it's
cornier.
got the whole edgy vampire crap going on, you know? Like, it does not help the setting.
True. Is there any monster archetype that is more gay than
Werewolves?
vampires?
Like, I don't know. Do
I feel like werewolves are just furry.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Still very, yeah, okay.
I feel like what was it? Interview with a Vampire probably started the gay vampires trope, but Morbius definitely played into it. They might not have known they were playing into it, but it was there. It was there. And I don't really remember most of what happened in the movie. Most of us were just like, why is Jared Leto? Not who is Jared Leto. Why is Jared Leto? Why is Jared Leto become Batman? Why is Jared Leto become Sugar Glider? And then I realized something about the movie. Everything happening in Morbius was if they took the Incredible Hulk movie from the early 2000s, not the second one that kind of got introduced into the MCU, the first one that people don't like to talk about anymore. The first one that was so absolutely dogshit that it canonically never happened in real life. It was basically that movie, but rewritten to include vampires, to include Dracula, instead of to include Shrek. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna take your word for it.
If the Incredible Hulk was a Shrek-based anti-hero movie, Morbius is a Dracula-based anti-hero
I will
movie.
take your word for it.
So I'm reading through the script, and I realize that there's no way I can deliver this with the amount of like camp required. But it's lines like, you have to stop denying who you are. We can go anywhere. We could do anything. Let's go. There's like
that is literally a line
Absolutely.
that can be read in a romance tone.
But they did it in the
or
Morbius
in
tone,
Morbius
which
gets
is
its
just
own
really
tone.
it's no good. None of it's good. I've been more than a friend to you all this time, Milo.
I had fun though.
Or Milo. I don't know, man. It's just so bad.
Also, that was a weird thing in the movie. The main character, the antagonist, Milo.
It's Lucian.
That's not his name, but everyone calls him Milo. Like, they introduce him at the start, and he's like, yeah, my name is Lucian Cumberbatch. I don't know who I'm very English right now. And then Jared Leto's child version is just like, bitch, I'm gonna call you Milo. And then everybody in the world just decided, yeah, child Jared Leto is right.
When the original
British
name
punk
is
called Milo.
Lucian. And but the reason why he called him Milo is because all the other sick kids that came before him, he named them Milo too, because they just kept on either coming and going, like dying, I guess, or getting adopted or something. I don't know.
This is like
It's very annoying.
this is like Geralt and naming every horse Roach.
But Roach is Roach.
But that's still better than apparently naming every sick kid Milo.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Look,
Yes. After watching
Uh-huh.
something like Morbius, though, You almost need like a
Uh-huh.
media palate cleanser. You know what I mean?
No, before
Something
we even
to
go into
reset
there, I
expectations.
want to say one of my favorite things that we did after was like we were just sort of bored and trying to figure out if there was anything else we wanted to watch after Morbius. So I started clicking around on some random movies. Remember there was the one scene? So there was like the samurai detective
Oh.
or something like that.
What was that movie?
Yeah,
No,
Sheriff
Kabuki
Sheriff
Sheriff.
Kabuki or something like that.
That's what it was called.
Anyways,
Kabuki Sheriff.
it's like a very 60s or 70s movie, like clearly shot as well in the 60s or 70s, like not an imitation of the time. And anyways, at one point there's like this fight scene between some goon and I think the Kabuki sheriff and then his wife in his bedroom. And then like he knocks out Kabuki sheriff, this goon, and then he starts swinging the wife around. But then he swings the wife around,
Oh
and
my
you see in the
God,
background,
that's right.
there is clearly like a large framed photograph of the downtown core of whatever setting it might be. Let's say it's San Francisco or something.
Yeah, the downtown outside of the window is just like a canvas
Yeah, like it's
print.
clearly a print. He throws her into the print, and it becomes a window.
What?
Not only that, the time of day on the outside of the window when
Yes,
they throw
like
her
it looks
through is
darkish
completely
outside
different.
in the photo, and it is clear as day outside. And he and she
no.
doesn't land. There's like these two people that we sort of see talking earlier. They're not like important to the story, I assume. We never really watched it.
Oh, those bankers who were talking about
Yes, they were doing
off
coke off the car, and you think that she would land on the car? No, she lands on one of the bankers in a really awkward way that implies that she came off from the side of the screen as opposed to from top down. It was so good. That scene alone was better than anything
God.
else. Like I genuinely love that scene because I love B and C level movies.
Wow.
So
I
good.
completely forgot about Kabuki Sheriff until literally just now. And it might not have been called Kabuki
Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. That's
Sergeant
even
Kabuki
better.
What a
Man,
name.
NYPD, that's fucking
Oh,
right.
what a
What the-
10 out of
name.
10.
It hurts.
I know what we're watching next year.
Kabuki Man.
Oh.
Sergeant Kabuki,
Oh.
New York Police Department.
What?
Oh my god. Yeah, so Sergeant Kabuki Man is not the media palette
I
cleanser
need
that
It's
to
what I
make
deserve.
sure. Wait, I need to make sure what day of the year it is next year so that I know for a fact that I can actually make it. Because if it's a stream day,
Sergeant.
then it's already off the books. But if it's not a stream day,
It's a Monday.
it's a
just reschedule stream
Yeah,
forehead.
people will understand.
it's a
Really.
Saturday. It's a Saturday next
Is it a
year.
Saturday next year? It
It's
is
on.
a Saturday
It's on.
next year.
I gotta,
oh my
I gotta
God.
watch the stupid shit with you. Let's
Okay,
go.
there's a
Let's
Wikipedia
go.
of Sergeant Kabuki Man. Really quickly, I'm just going to read off his biography. Home, New York City. Ethnicity, Caucasian. Aliases, Harry Griswold. Weapons of choice, chopsticks. Occupation, police detective / superhero.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Species, human. Powered by
Jesus.
ancient spirit.
No, oh no.
Oh,
Are we
God.
talking ancient spirits of the alcoholic kind?
Maybe. Maybe some old sake.
Very old.
All right.
rancid sake.
I don't want to spoil any more of it
Maybe.
because
Oh no.
it needs to remain pristine.
So if Morbius is the worst thing that we've watched this year, not going to lie, Oshi no Ko has taken the
All
anime
bangers,
community
I'm telling
by
you.
storm. And honestly, we're just
We
as
won't talk about a
we
lot
have been
because
wrapped
we're
up in
keeping
we
it
won't,
for the
we won't
review.
mention it.
but-
We're gonna talk about this in the review, but recall, if you will, that during the preview, we all realized that the first episode was an hour and 20 minutes.
80 whole minutes.
And
That
I
is
looked at it and I
basically
was like,
4 episodes.
that seems like a lot of effort for a first episode when there have been previous series where we struggled to make it through 11 minutes of a first episode.
But good lord, every single one of us has actually managed to do it. Normally we watch
Yeah,
them
so
all
it's
at
fresh.
once before recording. This is the time where
Yeah, you
I
were.
was going to watch it anyway. But Nancy and Jay don't always watch what we talk about. And holy moly, if you haven't watched episode 1 of Oshi,
You deserve it. Go treat yourself.
Deserve it. You deserve it.
An experience.
It is
An experience.
bonkers. It is bonkers.
I kind of, so everybody knows this about me. I like to go into any media that I watch with as few things influencing me as possible, which usually means I go into it without having watched anything really. We kind of knew that there was a preview snippet set up for us to at least be able to be like, oh, this looks interesting. So we knew that just going in. That's it. And so when I tell you that I had no expectations and no, predilections of where I thought this might go, I mean it in as much of a way as possible, where it's like I didn't know where this was gonna go, and I'm very grateful I had no idea.
Yeah. I'm not going to
I'm not going to say anything. I want people to experience this the same way that I did.
If you listened to us a few weeks ago, you know what the
That's all you
base
need.
level is. But even knowing what the base level of the information is does not prepare you. It doesn't prepare you.
I want people to experience this precisely the way that I did, because it was such a good experience for me.
Yeah.
Just go watch it.
It's just, this is going to be one of the anime people
set aside 80 minutes of your time and go watch this episode, not knowing anything else about it other than what we said in the preview episode, basically.
It's worth the 80 minutes. That's all you need to know. And if you don't believe...
It's a better use of your time than watching Morbius.
Significantly better. But yes.
Although Morbius
I'm
was
now
friends,
really curious if we were actually right in our preview prediction about how we may have picked out a really solid set of bangers.
Could be. I'm going back.
I think we went all.
I'm going
bangers.
to watch some old bangers.
I think we went all bangers. I've watched a few of them so far.
I'm very optimistic.
I'm currently in the process of watching old bangers. I'm watching. I'm trying to finish up on Isekai Oji-san.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
because it did finish.
I still gotta go finish that.
It finished, Nancy.
Okay.
It finally.
Okay,
they finally got over
that.
They got over the production hump.
Yes.
And they pushed out their 12 episodes or whatever it is.
Yes.
I'm in love with all the all the silly Sega jokes. The tsundere elf character that really that likes him, but he's oblivious. All of that. There's a new character in there too as well. I won't spoil who it is, but it's fun.
Of all the anime that deserve a season 2, that are
Not
almost
everything
definitely
needs a
never going
season.
to get a season 2.
If the content is good the first time around, you don't need more because it could possibly ruin it.
It doesn't need it. Isekai Oji-san is already perfect, you know? It is exactly what it needs to be. And I want more. I really do. And this is the problem. So I want more. We're never going to get more. But 10 years down the line, the monkey's paw might curl. And we get a season... The monkey's paw. The monkey's paw might curl a finger. Isekai Oji-san 2 comes out. And it's by Studio Dean or something. None of the isekai parts are actually shown. They just show Oji-san, the boy and the girl, just sitting at the table, just sipping their coffee and going yep. That's what'll happen in season 2, 10 years from now by Studio Dean.
Speaking of watching other bangers, Vinland Saga just finished season 1 yesterday. That was an unexpected ride.
Oh, nice. So... I am going to tell you, season 1 of Vinland Saga is the prologue.
Oh no, here we go.
After season 1, everything about the story changes drastically.
I can't wait.
So I would absolutely recommend, season 2 is still airing right now. It starts off slow. It starts off really slow, but this is where the story really starts to become itself.
So I will confess, I did not watch all of Vinland Saga season 1. I was absent for chunks because I needed to like leave to go stream or do some recording or whatever I was up to. Sean was the primary viewer of Vinland Saga season 1. But every time I was there, I witnessed many a disturbing scene for me. Like disturbing for me. Maybe not disturbing for anyone else who might be a little more desensitized to it, but disturbing for me. And so I commented on just how much of like just violence I had seen. And Sean goes, "No, actually your timing is just really weird because you were there for all of that, but I didn't get a whole lot of it outside of your presence." And I sat there and I was like, it's like the show just knew when all the violent stuff was going to happen, was that when I was sitting on the couch.
With season 2, the violence is much rarer.
That's reassuring.
I would say. But it still exists, and when it does exist, it is, for the most part, as rough or as it takes itself as far as it does in the first season. It's just a matter of violence isn't the focus. In fact, the whole point of the first season is to create a juxtaposition with the further seasons, showing that no, the violence isn't the point. Every time that violence happens, it's the opposite of the point is the problem that Thorfinn now has to fix.
I don't know if my heart's ready for season 2. I don't know if I can pick it up right away. I think I need like a palate cleanser, so I'm gonna go and watch some Oji-san.
Yeah.
Do it.
And possibly go show a few more friends Oshi no Ko.
Hell yes.
Hey, have you heard of the show? Yes. No, what's it about? No, don't worry about it. Just sit down and watch it with me. Don't worry about it. Just I'm gonna hit play right now. Just come on Discord and watch with me.
There are some things that I wish I could just not worry about though. Unfortunately, money has been put down. Money has been spent. It is now no longer something that I can just mildly think about. Waffle over.
You're going to Japan.
Going to
Let's go. Yeah.
Nancy, you're going to Japan.
I feel like I am.
Oh, dang.
Jade, you're going to
Japan. There are people that I have found out are either in Japan or have come back from Japan that I didn't even know went. There's so many people going this year. So
the funniest thing,
many.
the funniest thing is that the more we talk about hey, so we got flights, like the more people I tell that to, the more people go, wait, I did too. What day did you buy for? And we are now certainly questioning, are we going to be in the same cities at the same time so we can hang out over there instead of hanging out over here?
Yes. So I believe
we are
Nancy, we're on the same flight.
Flights?
I believe so. Once we land, we're probably going in different directions eventually. But I still think it's going to be nice having a friend in Japan to bounce off of each other, figure out our stuff, get ourselves oriented, and then we can go our separate ways and have our own vacations.
We literally had this conversation just like yesterday. We were just like, it's gonna be really nice to have airport buddies, because the worst part of the trip is probably the apprehension on the way over and the disappointment when you come back. And having airport buddies is going to make it so much better. It doesn't even matter if we don't end up meeting up in the middle, but having someone to take the flight with, having someone to bum around in the airport with for those last couple hours before you got to say goodbye to a beautiful country and come home and end your vacation, that's going to be far more valuable, I think.
Are you guys going to try and sit together?
I mean, if we can,
book seats together?
Why not?
I don't know if you guys, I don't know what tickets you bought. I don't know if that's included or that's something that you have to pay extra for and you're willing to pay extra for. That's what I mean.
That would be cool. At the same time, I'm a big guy. Sean's a big guy. If we're in same row, our elbows.
I know that you've never taken a transatlantic or Trans-Pacific flight, I guess in this case, but there's something called exit row. You should really look into it.
Oh no, I need to get that exit row.
I know that
It
Angelo's
is
never been on a
so
flight
good.
that's over like 4 hours, is my guess.
The only flights I've ever been to have been Calgary to Toronto, Calgary to Windsor, and then Toronto to Miami. Those are literally the only ones.
I'm so excited to be on your first transocean flight.
It'll be my first time off the continent.
But like, okay, first of all, let's talk about having the money to buy the privilege to choose your seats in advance. Because that's a thing. And that didn't used to be.
Your knees
It's
will
I think it's
thank
$100.
you.
I think it's either a $50 or $100 difference usually.
Knees will thank you.
It's a $50 difference per flight, per person,
Yeah.
to be able to choose a flight
Wow.
in advance.
Last time I flew, it was $20 to choose the seat, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Give me that one in the exit row that doesn't have the chair in front of it.
I
I
would say that for me
one's my seat.
personally, and I'm not like a huge guy, but I like my space. I think most people would like their space, especially when you're on a 10-hour plus flight. I have two views on it. It just depends on not the size of the plane, but the length of the flight. If it's over 3 hours, I will absolutely consider buying the seat. Meaning I will choose exit row most likely. The reason for that is basically 3 hours and above. I can break it down to like if I pay $30 or $50 or whatever for the ability to choose that seat, it just breaks down to being like, oh, $10 an hour. I am being more comfortable for this long ass flight. I'm flying to Vancouver like tomorrow, as of recording. That's an hour and a half. I don't care where I sit. I buy the cheapest tickets. I can cramp up for an hour and a half. It's no different than like a car ride, I feel like. And most of the time, I just sleep anyways.
That brief little nap between here and Vancouver.
Exactly.
Fair.
Okay, so previous flights that I've taken to Japan they always stopped over in Vancouver. So that is a total of 4 flights, at least.
Yes.
Goodness forbid anything else were to happen. But 4 flights. You gotta pay $50 per person per flight to be able to choose your seat.
Now, I want to make clear there's 2 different categories of seat choosing normally. And I'm not
Yes,
talking about
there's
like the
also that.
tiers of whatever. I'm talking about there are tickets where you can buy the seat with the ticket. What that means is that like the ticket is not just like economy, it's like economy plus. So like you get maybe one checked bag plus your seat assignment. And there's just like basic super economy, which is like you're sitting where they tell you unless you want to pay an extra $30 to $60 usually. So it really depends. Sometimes you can get a nice like there's like a seat sale kind of thing. Not literally choosing your seat sale, but like the ticket is cheaper and it still includes the seat. Because that's what happened to me the first time I went to Japan. It was like included the choice anyways. So sometimes it's not that
Nice.
bad. But there's no guarantee.
So if you get your base airfare, you're still in economy, but if you don't buy the privilege to choose a seat, like you don't get that perk. You don't get to choose your seat ahead of time. Even if you check in at the airport together with the people that were booked with you on your itinerary, you can still end up sitting apart from each other.
This is true.
Yeah, that would be unlucky.
It happened to me. And it was just on flights to Toronto and back. Like, we didn't sit together at all. It was dumb.
Wow. That would be unlucky. Because I've got the Steam Deck and me and Dio are going to watch movies on it.
Well, yeah, you want to at least sit next to each other, right? But last time
Exactly.
we flew to Toronto, we were rows and rows away from each other. Like, if we had shared entertainment, like, no, you're not getting that.
When everybody except you opts to buy
And
their seat.
leaves, like, one person gaps between them like they do at movie theaters. Like, seriously.
Happens.
Yep.
My main
It happens.
concerns right now with travel is now I don't know if this is like I haven't followed Asian airline shenanigans, but like recently American and Canadian airline shenanigans have resulted in a lot of delays. Like WestJet is about to go on strike, most likely with the pilots union.
No.
Southwest is Southwest
There
is
was
yeah
the whole
Southwest
issue
is
with
doing
was
something
it
weird again,
Southwest?
where they like I
Oh,
think 3 or 4
no.
days ago they literally canceled all of their departures.
Oh gosh.
Like I don't even remember.
Again? What wasn't it back in like December?
Well,
where
no.
Sunwing basically
No. I mean, that is
Southwest
also another
basically
thing
imploded
is
on
that
itself?
because of like the volatility apparently of the airplane company market. No. Like
Software.
some places are straight up just shuttering. You know, like they you bought your ticket, you're like, oh boy, I have a trip in 1 week, and then halfway through the week, they're like, we're no longer a company. We have closed.
Yeah, like
That's a thing that's happened
hello?
too. So it's been kind of
Oh.
wild. I hope, like, you know, I understand that it is like it's a tough business to be in, to be completely honest. Like, I don't think they say that most of the time the margins really do suck, and I do actually believe a lot of that. I just want
Volume
to
is how they
think
pay
that
their way.
it would be more guaranteed because, like, I not to be like, you know, putting myself above it, but it's just travel is an essential thing. Like people's livelihoods really do depend on travel. You know, we're talking everything from like fuel to like, you know, cars and trains, planes and automobiles. And I just think that it's so wild how volatile the market has been since COVID. And I just don't know if they're like if this existed before and I just wasn't paying attention, or if it really is just like a post-COVID reality kind of thing.
It seems a lot more volatile than it used to be, but I don't know. I was a kid back then. I
Kind
knew
of true
nothing.
too.
So what I'll do, if for some reason the plane company disappears, I'll drive out to the West Coast. I'll gather some sticks, tie together a raft.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like show a little ankle and
that's
catch.
not gonna
and
go
catch a rat.
well.
I'll corral some sharks and use them to pull the raft across the
Jay,
Pacific.
do we have sharks in the Pacific? Okay.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I gotta make sure. Like, sharks live in a pretty
There's a lot
narrow
of
band
sharks
in the
No.
oceans.
They
Do they
do-
not?
There are sharks that live in the Arctic, my dear.
They are all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes, we are
Sharks.
all
Media has lied to
surrounded
me
by
my whole
sharks.
life. Okay, so if there are sharks everywhere, how are you gonna?
I was
corral
gonna say
them?
that sharks are
they-
not a bad choice because sharks have to continually be in motion. Generally speaking, they don't really stop and rest. Well, the
They're
large
not
sharks, anyways.
mammals.
Exactly.
Yes,
They have
basically,
to move
that's
to
a
breathe.
generalism for them that they have to keep moving. Some species, smaller ones, don't have to so much, but usually the big boys, the ones that you would want your raft to be hauled by, need to keep on moving. So you might as well
Exactly.
align them on their way to Japan, and then sell them to the fish market,
Exactly.
and then have shark sashimi after. I would not recommend
What
it.
even?
Sharks pee
I
through
feel
their
like
skin.
Shark
So I would not
sashimi.
recommend it.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's one of the
Wait,
reasons why we
oh.
don't normally
What?
eat shark, is because they don't really have like a urethral opening. They actually, a lot of their uric acid and other waste fluid actually goes through their flesh and expel through their skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't
I
there a
had
big
no
thing
idea.
about someone who
Unlucky.
posted a video on YouTube of them eating shark and they got in super bad trouble about it. But also, you know, shark is like not very good tasting, and that's why. That's
There's
how I learned
a-
about that.
Well, there's like, you know, like surstrumming, which I believe is some
Yeah.
that's herring.
It's herring,
There
but it's like
is
canned
a-
and fermented.
Yes, there is a fermented shark dish. I think that originates out of Finland, but I could be wrong. It's one of those countries like Sweden, Norway, or Finland potentially, where they eat fermented shark, and like, but again, shark is pretty funky because of the uric acid. They literally just let it. They dig a pit. They throw the shark corpse in there. They wait like 6 months, and then they bring it back out, and they eat some very fermented ammonic shark flesh. It's very interesting.
Yum. Yeah.
Yo,
Whose idea
They
was it?
gotta do
Whose
whatever
idea
they
was
can.
it?
It's
Was
the
like,
Arctic. I don't
"Man, this
understand.
shark,
I'll be completely honest. I
it
don't
tastes
understand why
bad."
anyone lives in the Arctic, and we're pretty close to the Arctic as it is.
someone was trying to be like,
But I'm
There's
still
certain
What
alive.
can we
bad.
do to make it better slash
what if
worse?
we let it
Yes.
rot? If we just let it rot for a little while, will that make it taste better? And someone somehow decided, yes, actually, this rotten shark is perfect.
Quickly going back to travel, I had something I wanted to bring up, which is
Ugh.
you were talking about like planning struggles, like where to go, what
Yeah.
to do, where to meet. I want to bring up one of the most like, and you want to talk about ticket prices, airplane. Before all of that, I want to bring up the most basic struggle of travel of all: packing your luggage. And I don't even mean like, what am I going to bring? Am I going to bring a checked bag? Am I going to bring whatever? I'm talking about the extra amount of socks and underwear that you plan to bring. Because I don't know a single person, even a well-traveled person, where they're like, I'm not going to bring extra clothes for no reason. That doesn't really even make any sense. I always overpack. It's so
No,
bad.
Always overpack.
This has been solved. This is a solved issue. There's two different ways that you can go about it as well. The first is you simply stop by a laundromat like halfway through the trip, or twice during the trip. That's the obvious way. But Disney actually has us covered, you see, there was this one documentary called Big Hero 6, and they covered this very real problem of not bringing too much underwear with you. You see, the way that you do it, you bring a quarter of the underwear you think you would need. And then you wear
No,
it front, and
Angelo.
then back,
No.
and then
No.
inside out,
No.
and then
No.
front and back again.
It's
A
somehow
cartoon facsimile
that fact
of Stan Lee
somehow worse than the
reiterated
shark meat
this.
fact.
Nope. Just nope. Nope, 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 nope.
You wouldn't wear a single
Nope.
pair of underwear four different times
no.
before cleaning it?
But for some reason, when you're
Nuh-uh.
traveling, you're like,
No.
I need, like, if you're traveling like 21 days, you're like, I need 60 sets of underwear. That's what it feels like. I definitely am in the same, like, yeah, I'll go to a laundromat, or like hopefully at the hotel or Airbnb has like laundry services. That's totally fine. But like when you're pre-packing, especially when you're doing like just maybe 3 or 4 days, like you're doing a short travel, but you definitely almost double up. Like you're like, what if I need extra socks? I live my life every day not needing extra socks. Why do I think I suddenly need extra socks?
Yeah, but that specific day you might.
It makes no sense. When I'm
Here's the
outside on the everyday,
You are going to step in a puddle the one
when I'm
time
outside
you don't
every
bring extra
day,
socks.
there's technically a possibility where I'm not going to go home in the middle of the day to get extra socks or change underwear. But when I'm traveling,
one
it's
time-
suddenly like, yeah, every 2 days that I'm staying there, I'll need one extra pair or something. It just doesn't make any sense, but it does. I can't get away from it.
So if you're doing like a short stay, if I was even doing like 1 week where I thought, you know what, I'm not going to stop by a laundromat, then I would absolutely be like, I need 2 extra sets just in case. But when I'm thinking, you know what, I explicitly will be planning on doing laundry while we're there, then it's like freeing. If for some reason you have an incident, that means you have to dip into the next day's underwear supply. Then you
The
just
truth
do
is
the
that
laundry a day
nobody
early, you know?
wants to spend time doing laundry when they're traveling. No one wants to do a home
Oh, absolutely.
chore when they're traveling, especially if you're traveling for fun.
You think I'm gonna fold that laundry once I'm in Japan? Fuck no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna fold it the
absolutely
very
not.
last day. Just
All
to
your
make
new
sure I
anime
can fit
face.
everything in the suitcase, just to make sure the suitcase still closes.
I will be using it to pad out all of the goodies I'm bringing home with me. But, okay, hold on. First of all, it's Japan. It's really easy to find. Okay, I am using Japan as an explicit example here. So I know this won't apply to everywhere, but it's Japan. It's really easy to find places to stay that have in-suite
And that's what I did
washer
in
and
Japan last
dryers.
time. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
mentally, I'm still going to pack
Yeah.
extra. I don't know why.
Okay, so my general rule for packing like extra underwear or socks, extra 20%. So I plan to have 5-ish days worth of clothing. And then I have an extra 20%. So that actually is 6 days of clothing. I know I'll do laundry before
But that's
that 6
exactly
days
my
is up.
point. My point here is that even if you say you're going to do laundry while you're traveling, then why are you packing even 5 days worth of clothes when you could technically just pack 3?
Because it depends on which places you will go
But
to.
it's not to
that
say, but
do
whether
have
even if they don't
Because
have
I know
laundry,
in the
you
middle
would
of my
still.
trip,
The
I
implication here is
won't.
that you would still go out of your way to do laundry. So therefore, you might go to a laundromat. The point being is that what we're all saying. The logic here is clear, especially to like when you're traveling to places like Japan, or even if I'm just going to Vancouver or wherever else, I could do my laundry and pack less. Literally, we can pack less. Not the same, not one outfit for every day, not extra outfits for a few more days. You can literally pack less, but we don't do that.
Hold on. So let's say if you pack 5 days worth of clothes for a 2-week trip, that means you're doing laundry
Yes.
at least 2 times, right?
Yes.
So if you pack 4 days of clothes, though, for a 2-week trip, you are doing laundry still only... No, I think you might have to do laundry 3 times.
Yeah, so the point is that you
So
have a
5
little
days
bit...
is like the magic
Sure.
number.
Yeah, 5 days is the magic number. I've done the math. 5 days is the magic number. What doesn't... So, okay, that's just counting for number of underwear
Then
and
there's
pairs of
shirts,
socks.
pants.
That's it. It's not actually going to take up that much room. What does take up a lot of room is the actual layers that you have to bring to account for all of the different
I
weather
honestly don't bring that many
conditions.
layers. I just
So I can't...
I will bring
really different...
one sweater, one pair of thick socks, and one pair of not giving a damn.
That's not how that works. But like, I can't
remember.
just be like, okay.
I think it was abroad in Japan. They were talking about one time they went climbing Mount Fuji in the middle of the summer.
Oh no.
And they didn't realize it was going to be less than 0
You
at
can
the top.
see the snow.
Yeah. Is snow at the top? Of course. It's going to be at least 0 or below.
So they were climbing this mountain. One of them had a sweater. I think it was Connor and Chris.
Of course it was
And they
Connor.
see guys coming down who are in t-shirt and shorts.
All right.
Oh.
Either way, I don't believe in going for like a 10-day trip and like packing 10 days
No,
worth
nobody
of
does.
things.
Nobody
That's
should be
just-
doing that.
No. And like, no one should be doing that. But like, you can, depending on like the number of stops, the kinds of accommodations you're gonna have, you can plan for like a third plus a little bit of that time, and then you just do laundry twice.
Yeah.
And you count the clothing that you are wearing on the plane when you go.
Because
That's
you
kind
also
of-
need the laundry day clothes.
Yeah,
True.
exactly. You still need to account for the fact that when you're doing laundry that night, you still gotta be wearing something.
So, like, if you're doing 2 weeks and you have 7 days worth of clothes, that means you only have to do one
Laundry
trip.
math.
But because you want the extras, you might pack 7 days worth, but say you have 5 days just in case.
And you're
And that means you
still
have to do
gonna
2
pack
laundry trips.
extra
But
socks
if you have
and
anything
underwear.
less than that,
You just will.
Yeah, I don't
just
know,
will.
not too much. I think for me, it's honestly just the different number of layers I'm gonna need. Because I'm gonna need a lot. I know that I'm like that. Even in like regular everyday living in Calgary.
yeah, true.
The secret is to have really packable things.
And I think it's time to pack up this episode
Yep.
of the Otafest podcast.
See you next time.
I'm booking my
See you
flight
next
out of here
time.
on an assigned exit row seat.